Hey guys, Hook to Clash here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a perfect ward that my 5v5 team got against Rest here, who are a very good team, by the way. They beat us pretty handily a week ago. I unfortunately was not in the war, so you can probably figure out why we got the perfect, but I also was unable to stream this one, so there's no live reactions I can give you, but it was a perfect war, so I figured I'd show you all how we did it. So let's just go through the attacks from top to bottom and talk about why they were good attacks for the base. So Elliot coming in with hybrid here. This is a good attack for the base. We'll go on to the next one. Now, obviously, I'm kidding. So he starts the hybrid over on this left-hand side, and as you can see, he's got the early funnel on both sides. Now, he's investing a lot in the funnel here with a baby drag on the bottom side and a Yeti on the top side, but obviously he went with the baby drag on the bottom side because there's no real air defense nearby, and the Yeti on the top side because not only was there an air defense nearby, but there was also an archer tower that he wanted the Yeti mites to get rid of. And now look how good this funnel is on the top side. There's absolutely no argument about where the queen's going. As soon as this air defense is down, she'll go for the gold storage, but then she's going to go into this open wall here, and he's got a second layer wall break. I probably would have waited to target that at the bomb tower, but it's still going to work out fine nonetheless. I kind of like this, using the Coco Loon to lure out the headhunters, because that way you split up the CC, and that means you can save your poison for the Hound. Oh, sorry, not the Hound as much, but the Lava Pups. As you can see, he's got another wall breaker in here, so he's opened up a lot of the base here. He's dealt with not a huge amount of the base, but the main thing he's setting here is a path for his hybrid. Now, the king's on the top side. He's doing his little thing up there. He's actually just going to completely negate the enemy king. It's a fine trade in my opinion. He's still got the P.E.K.K.A that can run around and do the funnel. And thankfully, most of his hybrids stayed pretty concentrated in the core. We'll just keep a track of the queen on the bottom side, but she's about to get rid of a scatter and the enemy RC. He pops his warden. The biggest thing about this warden was that he hasn't used a heal yet, which is really nice. It means you have 2 heals to use post-warden, and there's actually not a lot of base left at this point. Unfortunately, he has to pop his queen on the left-hand side. She gets rid of a bomb tower as well as the RC. Bomb towers are obviously major threats because they do more than a giant bomb. In fact, they do a lot of damage to your hybrids, and they force a lot of heals out of you, especially because a lot of the time you see bomb towers paired with giant bombs, because obviously it's the easiest way to kill troops. And look how much hybrid he has left up. This is insane. He used a rage for his hybrid. We can skip through the end of this. It was just an amazing attack, and it was all set up by that queen judge at the start that left him such good funneling for the town hall that it was almost impossible to fail. Now we're going to jump straight into the next one here. So SLS coming in, and you know what he's coming in with. He's coming in with Super Witches. SLS is just insanely good at this. Look, I cast a lot of wars, but I don't keep enough track of the people using Super Witches, because obviously the people that steal the limelight, the people that often use your Lalos, your Stars, your Nyx, those sort of varieties, those people who just do the craziest Lalos often take a lot of the spotlight, or Klaus, because he just does what Klaus does. Anyways, SLS is as good as anyone I've seen with these Super Witches, honestly. He very rarely, if ever, fails with them, and he does them at just about every war. He's on quite the hot streak. I really hope I haven't just jinxed him with that, though. We'll see in the coming future, won't we? Anyway, super nice little warden funnel on this side, and I really liked this plan because he zapped this over here, and often where you zap, your warden walk in front of, but if he'd warden walked here and then tried to force his troops in there, all these buildings would have been really annoying for the funnel. So rather than warden walk where he zapped, he was just like, well, it's going to take one wizard, maybe a baby drag to funnel where in front of where our zaps went. So let's warden walk the other side, which is much tougher to set the funnel for, because obviously getting buildings behind the wall for a funnel is much tougher than buildings on the outside of the wall. Pretty simple. As you can see, he's already used his warden ability, but he's got his witches into such a good area of the base. He has also, with this entry, avoided both the sweepers. That is huge for this attack, because look at how hard these super witches are to kill when they've got raged healers on them. They are almost unkillable. About the only thing that gets them is single infernos and defensive heroes. And occasionally, if the eagle hits at the perfect time, the eagle, but it's the eagle. It rarely works at the perfect time. Anyways, he's got the jump to the back end here. Also, what I didn't highlight on the entry was this set of wall breaks here. This is all wall breaks that he broke those walls with. It was just insane. It opened up the whole base and meant he could bring one jump, which is huge. because you then, with the zaps, you can bring 2 rages instead of just the 1. Now, the attack still works with 1 rage instead of 2, but it's obviously not as strong. The more rages you can bring, the less time you take as well, because obviously time is one of the biggest shortcomings of the attack here. And honestly, that's the most common fail you see with the Super Witches is the time. We'll go straight into Peivu's attacking, and he's coming in with an attack that I've barely seen over the last couple of months. Hybrids absolutely usurped this, but it's slowly making a comeback. I'm starting to see it more and more, and I love it, because Queen Charge Hogs is a really strong strategy, and honestly, it's quite hard to defend. It is quite hard to defend, and there is a multitude of reasons it is hard to defend that I'll kind of go through here. One, most of the time with the Queen Charge Hogs, you'll have a Yeti Bomb. Yeti Bombs, just very hard to stop these days. Yes, a lot of people have SAMs, Tornadoes to stop blizzards, but that's often to stop blizzards deeper into the base. And stop it there, whereas like Yeti Bombs are often quite shallow. So as you can see, he started with the Yeti Bomb and a Rage, and I think the Rage was worth it. He got a huge chunk of base out here. Second reason it's hard to defend is because in terms of baiting the Queen Charge, it's not like you can have like a flanking Tesla farm mess up your funnel, because you use the Yeti Bomb on one side of the funnel, which is a pretty sound funnel, and on the other side of the funnel, a lot of the time you'll see them use their king, and we're going to see that here. Peivu's King's just going to clear all of this stuff to force the Queen into like that opening there. And like being able to use your King to funnel your Queen is amazing. Now, often with hybrid attacks, you don't get that luxury, because most of the time people want to use the Siege Barracks and the King to funnel the hybrid, because they realize the hybrid's the strongest part of the attack, not the Queen Charge. Whereas this, you invest a bit more in the Queen Charge with the Yeti Bomb and the King, but absolutely get the value out of it. So ensuring he can get the Town Hall is huge. But we're not going to watch the King and the Queen too much. We've watched them a lot. Just watch it how quick the Hogs move. That is the biggest thing. The biggest advantage for them over hybrid is the speed and the ferocity at which they can take out a base. They can just fly across the base so fast. Look, it is 45 seconds till this base is tripled, by the way. It is 45 seconds. That is how quickly this is done, and he's only just got cleanup down. Now, Springs are awful for Queen Charge Hogs, way more so than hybrid. So that's about the biggest shortcoming of them, and also because the Hogs are quite squishy. But the biggest thing about the Hogs is all they've got to do is tank for the RC. Miners are horrible at tanking for the RC, because what you'll find happens is the miners go underground and defenses target the RC. But with Hogs, that never happens, and basically the RC only takes shots from the Eagle until all the Hogs are dead. And then a lot of the time you find with Queen Charge Hog attacks is that a lot of the Hogs are dead at the end, but the RC has to get like 5 buildings at the end, and she's still got her ability, and she often clutches it for you. But that didn't happen there. He still had 15 Hog Riders up, so that was a sexy attack from Peivu there. Gonna jump into Nicholas, and this is a really strong strategy in this game. Do not underestimate Dragbat. It is, like, not that it ever went away, but it is as strong now as it's ever been. It is unbelievably tough to stop. Unbelievably tough to stop. I don't know personally how I'd stop it. You just kind of hope that you deter people with like your air sweepers and where your splash is enough such that they don't do it. But a deterrence is often not enough. Now, he used an RC trick for the multi there at 10:30. Then he's using his King to go in, and his King's just going to get the Eagle nice and early, which is good, because the Eagle is quite annoying for this attack, honestly. It can take huge hits out of the drags. Then he's got his Queen on the far side, and she's going to get a Wizard Tower, an Air Defense, and just a really nice funnel for the drags. And look, that RC onto the multi probably didn't look like the biggest value for like a Zap Quake trick. But as you can see, the pathing in the core of the base here is just amazing. And it's just going to get nicer and nicer because of that. There's no core flanking multi. Anyways, drags in the Warden ability in the core. And you're actually going to see, this actually doesn't go very well, by the way. The drag push. Now, he set up a great funnel, but still didn't get the scatter shot here, unfortunately. He actually used a freeze there to try and get the enemy Queen and the scatter. He gets mighty close. By the way, look on the right-hand side. That Ice Golem tanked the Wiz Tower, saving him freezes here. And honestly, that helped him so much on the back end. There goes one freeze on that wizard tower there. Lasts long enough. Look how many bats he has up, by the way. It's insane how many bats he has up. The warden's trying to keep up, but honestly, he does not stand a chance. Anyways, the bats are going around the base, and even despite the drags going really poorly, and not getting, you know, one of the most important splash defense, no, the most important splash defense there is, didn't matter. Didn't matter. The bats are also really strong. If you take care of them, give them great pathing through the base, they can do things as well. It's just in this meta, you don't see the bats do a lot of the time because the drags do everything. I have seen Nick swag all his bat spells on numerous occasions. So if you can set up a really nice funnel, because that's the most important thing with drags, is a funnel where you don't have to deal with the sweeper, drag bat is as good as it gets. Drag bat is simply as good as it gets. And it's a very low risk, I mean, in terms of mistakes. Now, you can one-star it quite a bit because you are bringing blimps for the Town Hall. But in terms of mistakes, the biggest mistakes you can make with this are freezing splash for your bats. Because honestly, it's just drawing your drags in a line. And the Suis are often kind of easy. We'll jump into the very last attack. This is from Serg. And he's coming in with a Blizzard Lalo. Blizzard Lalo, not as popular as it once was, obviously. It was ridiculously popular because it was just unparalleled in how broken it was for a while. But you can still get it if you find it on the right base. Now, this is a little bit of a dangerous blimp. I wasn't in this war, obviously, as I said earlier. I'm not sure I would have liked this blimp. If there was a Sam sitting right here, which I would put one right there, then this blimp doesn't make it and he doesn't get the core multi and the defensive queen. But because it is there, look at how much value he gets. It's just crazy. It's not even like the most ridiculous value ever, but you think what he's doing, and like, because we all compare like crazy blimp value with Blizzard value to those army or those attacks where like Klaus takes out like, I don't know, that much of the base just with his Blizzard, right? But like, when you think about it, like, this is a huge part of base. He's gotten rid of a defensive hero. There's only 2 air heroes he has to deal with, and he's got rid of one of them. There's only 2 scatter shots, and he's gotten rid of one of them. There's only 1 multi on the base, and he got rid of it. And also, he's about to deal with the Tesla farm and the CC with these heroes for mostly little to no negative output, I guess. He did take a lot of his King's health to do it, but you still, like, the King regains, like, most of his health when you pop his ability. It's actually insane. Okay, not most, like 30%. But still, it sets up, but like, I'm getting sidetracked here, sorry guys. But the most important thing, aside from all that value that the blimp gets, is pathing. And look at it. He's got great pathing to the Town Hall here. Now, unfortunately, that ground bow, both of them actually locked onto the Queen. So he's actually going to make a tougher go of getting this Town Hall than he probably planned on. But he just uses a freeze, smart man, and his RC still got her ability. And as long as the Queen activated the Town Hall and turned it into a defense, it was always going to be okay. Pops the RC ability. Unfortunately, doesn't damage the scatter or the enemy RC, but it's fine. Look at it. The rest of this base takes 53 seconds, and you can see why. There is not much left. He popped the Warden earlier. Still don't know why he did that. It looked like a swag Warden to me, honestly. Look at it. His loons are literally taking no damage during all this, except from an air bow, which is obviously a powerful target versus bats, but versus 25 million balloons, it doesn't do a whole lot. Look at the power of the Sweeper, by the way. Sweeper is a really good anti-air attack strategy defense. But a lot of the time you'll find in these style attacks, you can kind of negate the influence of it. Now, in this one, he couldn't because both sweepers were still out. But with most of them, you can. And he's got 1 million balloons up. This is insane. That Blizzard and that Sui. Anytime you can Blizzard that much value and then get the Town Hall and having dealt with the CC, it's practically impossible to stop this. Your only hope is time. Or for them to do the worst Lalo you've ever seen. And that's not going to happen from Serg, or at least it won't happen today. Anyways, we'll jump out for one last time. And as you can see, we came in with the perfect war. Rest, very much a good team. This was in the TWL, so now we move to 3-2 with our losses coming to Fuma and Nishang Dance. And now we've beaten Rest, Silent Snipers, and one other team that's eluding me at this point. But it's an absolutely stacked league, so I'm going to stream as much as we can. We're up against HD Family next week, which is a huge match for us again. We're kind of, I think they're 3-1 or 2-2 as well, something like that. So we'll see how they go this week. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed seeing the attacks we put up today. We put up 5 different style of attacks. That's the main reason I wanted to show you guys this, to see 5 different attack strategies in action. If you enjoyed this sort of content, let me know in the comments below. I can do more of these style of videos. And yeah, I love you all. Hopefully you all have a nice day, and maybe, or hopefully, I'll see you soon.